it's me again. It's Charmaine. I know I've been gone for a while. Man, this is no joke to try to do it by yourself. So I had to get my helper, my editor, producer, the young man I gave birth to that's behind the camera that does the recording and the editing. I had to work around his schedule. But anyway, I'm back and I'm here again with a delicious meal before you. This is my chicken spaghetti. Now, you know, a lot of my recipes, a lot of things that I fix on my channel have a background story. I got this recipe from my aunt. She's infamous for her chicken spaghetti. And it's kind of funny because it started, I made some chicken fettuccine one time and she was like, "Oh, that's good." Then she had already had her chicken spaghetti recipe. So she kind of combined what I did and into her old recipe, and it became her new recipe. And I like to think it's kind of like our recipe, you know, but I'm going to let Aunt Carolyn have that. But this is really delicious. This is a great weeknight meal. You know, my thing is that you should be able to cook a delicious home-cooked meal each night. But it needs to be simple. You know, people work. You know, when my kids were growing up, between lessons and practice and games and all the many activities they were involved, I needed to be able to quickly get a meal to the table and we can eat, you know, and go do all the homework and all the other things they had to do. So with this, you just add a side salad, some fresh broccoli or something, a little bread, and it's a great meal. So if you're interested in how I made my chicken spaghetti, stay tuned. Keep watching. Okay, so let's get started with our chicken spaghetti. As you see, I've already cut up the ingredients. I have the Velveeta cheese. In here, I have my onion, garlic, and bell pepper. I have the combination of the 1 can of mushroom soup with a half a can of cream of chicken, the rotel, and the, what is this exactly again? Yeah, I have to make sure I tell y'all right. The roasted garlic and parmesan sauce, and a little milk that we're going to kind of use it just to clean up the jars. But I'm not going to use all of this. I've cut up most of the chicken, but I just wanted to show you exactly how I do it. I get a rotisserie chicken, I peel back all the skin, and I take the breast, and like this one, I'm probably just going to use just half of this because I've cut quite a bit already. And once it's cut, I take it and, take out the bone. Don't want a bone. And this is not my favorite knife to do this with, but we're going to make it work. As you hear in the background, I already have my spaghetti boiling, so it should be done in a few seconds. And I simply just cut the chicken up in chunks. You don't have to shred. I don't like to shred. I prefer it in chunks. So, have that. We're going to add that to that. I just want to basically give you an example of how I chunk it up and everything. So, we have that. So, we're going to take this and put this to the side. That's going to make some really good chicken salad later on. So now we're going to go and turn to the stove and bring everything together and place it in the oven. Okay, now we're going to get ready to saute the onion, garlic, and bell pepper a little bit. You know, some people may not do it, but I kind of like to saute it because, as they say, sweat it so you don't taste into a crunchy ingredients. So we're going to let that heat up. And I like to use extra virgin olive oil. It's supposed to be really good for your stomach and your body and all that good stuff. I'm trying to be a little more conscious even though we're having pasta. Lots of it. But it's okay. Children, like I say, the children loved it growing up. It was a quick weeknight meal that you could put together. It's filling. You can always make plenty of it. Add a green vegetable. And it was great. And super easy. So, I have onion, garlic, and bell pepper. So we're going to add that in. Alright, and let that sweat out a little bit. Okay, with that olive oil, it allows that onion and bell pepper and garlic to just soften up some. You just cook it long enough till the onion is translucent. That's one of those tough words, but hey, don't judge me. I told you from the beginning when I started taping videos. I have a southern vernacular and I'm a little Thai tongue, so we're just about there. And hey, let me know in the comments if you've had your own recipe for chicken spaghetti. Like I said, this was a recipe me and my aunt kind of put together. I showed her how to do one dish and she took it and she made this, and it's been like, it's a great church function type of dish you can take now that we're gathering a little more, you know, something great to take to a friend. And especially if some people don't like beef, and you know, chicken still is in the game, you know. So it's really easy to make. It's simply just putting things together. And that's about good right there. So I'm going to go ahead and add the chicken. And since the chicken is already done, I'm just basically kind of heating it up. And it'll only cook in the oven for about 30 minutes. Just basically kind of making everything kind of mesh and warm up together. While that is warming up, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning to give it some herbaceous flavor. The big word in there, didn't I? And that together. And now I will add I'm going to taste it at the end before I put it in the oven to check the salt content. But I will add a little Nature's Own seasoning, which I love. My girlfriend introduced it to me. Her mother loved it. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just like it. I call it her mother's name, Maisie seasoning. And probably and you can use any all-purpose seasoning that you like. I just prefer that one with chicken. And it has pepper, garlic, onion powder, little thyme, a few other herbs included. But I just find it's really good with chicken. Really good with chicken and dishes made with chicken. And that looks really good. Now I'm going to add my can of Rotel tomatoes. And I know it seems like it's a lot of ingredients, but it's, you know, because I'm showing you, it seems like it'll take me a little longer. But if it was just a regular night and an evening and I had to put it together, this would be put on in about 10 minutes. You know, because I would have chunked the chicken up early or the night before or that morning or something. And it's just a matter of just adding each ingredient in there. And now I'm going to add the cream of chicken and mushroom mixture. to stir that up. Because in my household, it was odd. My oldest son is not a beef fan. So, you know, he likes cheese, he likes chicken. He's not big on beef. And my youngest son was, actually when he was little, he didn't like regular spaghettis. You know, he preferred, what he called it, he liked white sauce. So this sort of came in great. It kind of pleased the other two. And my daughter, she wasn't really picky. You know, as long as it was flavorful, she was good. Okay, now I'm going to add, and you don't have to use, I'm not sponsored, that's why I'm trying to turn it. You can use any sauce you want, you know, just like, I like the roasted garlic Parmesan, because it adds a little flavor, you know, and if you cooking in my house, you got to have your little garlic, you know, that especially roasted garlic. I have to show you guys how to do my own roasted garlic. Sometimes I get real fancy and I roast my own and add it to things. But like I said, this is a weekday quick meal, and we ain't roasted no garlic before we go to bed and do homework, clean up the kitchen, sports events and practices and all that. Okay, and now I'm going to take I'm going to turn it down for a minute, and just some regular whole milk. And I know I got a small one because we don't drink a lot of milk now. So it's just me and my husband. So I just keep a little bit for cooking. And I'm just going to add some to the jar. And put the top on it. Clean the jar right quick. Okay, add that to it. And also, I should have mentioned, when I cut up the chicken, you know, you get the rotisserie chicken from the grocery store, you know, you have the little juices that's at the bottom of everything, and it's in the system is sitting, it kind of, you know, it became like gel. I just threw that in there also. That just adds to the flavor. You know, it's like stock, you know. So that melts into here too with the chicken. Alrighty. That looks delicious. You know, I'm human, and my channel is about simplicity and just being simple and just regular everyday people. Saying all that, I forgot to add my Velveeta. But boom, I got it. Here it is. Like, it's not too late, you know, because it's real life, real time, real life. If you did that at home, you just went, oh my God, I'm just not going to do it. You know what you're going to do? You're going to put that Velveeta in it. You're going to stir it up and let it melt. And we're going to be done with it. Because that's one reason why I didn't add any salt in it yet. Because Velveeta can be salty. And that helps to make it a little creamy. And give it that cheesy flavor. So I'm going to let that cook for a few minutes. Put the top on it. And then we'll put it all together. And pop it in the oven. My sauce is ready. The Velveeta melted, and before I brought it over here, I did taste it, and I added a little more salt to it, and I also added about a tablespoon of onion and garlic powder, and it got the right oomph to it. And so I'm going to put it in a glass dish, or you can put it in a pan, or you can put it like an aluminum pan. So if you're taking it somewhere. But I always like to spray just a little spray in there so it won't stick. The cleanup will be fairly easy. And I just take a paper towel or a napkin and just kind of wipe it in there. I don't want it to necessarily add a little bit more. I'm spraying everywhere but the pan. Just a little bit. Just so I can kind of get in there. I don't want a lot. I don't want to add grease to it. So with this is it's like lasagna. You're doing layers. What you're going to do, you're going to take just a little bit, a scoop of it. You're going to drop it in the bottom of the pan. Kind of spread it out so it'll prevent the spaghetti from sticking. And simple like that. I already pre-cooked my spaghetti. And I'm going to layer it just like lasagna. So right there. Right there. And that. Okay. I got a layer of spaghetti. And some sharp cheddar cheese. That's what I prefer. If you like, you can do mild, but I like sharp. I like the bite of the sharp. Okay. And you can actually hand shred cheese. It depends on what I'm fixing. Since we're looking at a quick weekday meal to put together for the family, I ain't want to shred no cheese. I was going to get some shredded and we're going to go with that. We're going to make it work from there. So I put a little right there on the base of it. And then I'm going to layer it again. And it's creamy, delicious. And it's even better the second day after the herbs and everything kind of come together. You know, but that's like that with a lot of foods. Like gumbo, soups, chili and stuff like that. Anything that I find, you know, that you have a nice amount of, you know, onion and garlic and herbs and everything sit together. It just tastes better the next day. I don't know if it tastes better because if I'm eating it the next day, I don't have to cook. But it just tastes better the next day. All right, and you can make this a nice little thickness. And let's say I made too much. You know, you can freeze spaghetti and just use it for when you want to make, you know, beef spaghetti or another dish like this. It's a smaller version or whatever. And if you have any leftover sauce, if you didn't want to make a small pan, you can actually do the same thing. The sauce freezes quite well. Actually, the whole pan of spaghetti, if you made it and put it in the freezer and didn't bake it and just put it together for another day, freezes really well. Really, really well. So it's a great make-ahead meal also. Alrighty. We're going to do another layer. And I always end up making a little too much spaghetti. But I don't know. I'd rather have more than not enough. That's just me. Alright. I'm going to just pour the rest of that on there. Yeah, I take everything out. I don't waste nothing. I get all my little stuff out the pot. Okay, I'm just going to put that to the side. And grab my spatula and kind of make sure it's get all in the crevices. And just let that right there come. So it kind of settles and that sauce goes through. Alright. That's it. And now we're going to put a layer of cheese on top. Brown cheesy. Quick, easy. It's chicken spaghetti, but it's really a big casserole. But plenty of meat. When I grew up, my dad didn't like casseroles. He felt as though the meal didn't have any meat. He told my mom once, like, it was real good, but Next time, just leave the bones on the side so it remind me that I ate some meat. I know. Big meat eaters I come from. But he loves when his sister makes it. It's one of her signature dishes that she'll throw together right quick. I'm gonna throw some chicken spaghetti. A little more cheese. And that's it. I'm gonna pop this baby in a 425-degree oven. It's gonna cook approximately 25 minutes till the cheese has melted, get a little brown. Like I say, everything in it is actually done, so we're just meshing it together. So just letting it cook together and come as one. So we're gonna bake it and then we're gonna eat it. We're gonna taste it, because you know a cook gotta taste what she cooked. Alright, it's been 25 minutes and I put it on the pan so it'll be a little easier to hold, just in case it bubbled too. But here it is. It's brown and it smells really, really good. I'm gonna let it cool just a minute and we're gonna have a taste. Delish. Okay guys, it's time to try our chicken spaghetti. Like I said, this is simple. It might have seemed complicated because I had a lot of ingredients, but trust me, that's because I was trying to record it and trying to sound semi-professional. But you know, if I had no camera, I could have put this together in 10-15 minutes, let it fix, and we're ready to eat. So we're gonna give it a little try. I guess I was supposed to get a little bit, but okay. There we go. Woo, it's still hot. I was trying to let it cool off. Okay. Let's see how she tastes. Look at there. And the layers. And I like the crunchy cheese at the top. That's how I like to see the onions and the bell pepper and everything. Let's give it a whirl. My mouth watering because I'm hungry. Really good. Of course I stated I fixed it. But it's good. It actually is. One more. A little cheese. So, here we have it. Quick and easy meal you can fix on the weekend or whatever. And also, like I said earlier, this freezes really good. You know, you can make it, put cheese on top, and before you bake it and freeze it and fix it for another meal, the weekend or something. Or after this cools off, you can actually, you know, put this in the freezer. Throw it out for later, you know, make it for ahead of time for other meals. But I hope you enjoyed the video. And let me know in the comments if you try it. Send me some pictures, tag me in. You know, I have all my information. Tag me on Instagram. Let me know if you tried it and make it. And hey, cooking is how you make it. You know, there is no, other than baking, I mean, you kind of you got to stick to a cup of flour if it asks for a cup of flour. But anything else, in my opinion, you can add what you want and you can take away what you don't like. But as a basis of this recipe, you can really make a delicious, easy meal. So you guys have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you're looking at the video. And subscribe and come back and check me out again. I promise you, I'm going to keep it consistent. Since I got a regular cameraman. Ain't that right, cameraman? Thank you again. You guys stay blessed. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.